Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Game of Thrones podcast. I'm your host, Carmine of Red Team Review, and I'm joined here once again by the supreme leader himself, Preston Jacobs. Preston.
I sense that you're going to strike down Ray. I can sense it. You're going to strike down your enemy. Oh, it's happening.
Cringy as always.
Of course.
Now, guys, welcome back to the one and only Game of Thrones podcast. I know there are many imitations out there, but I like to think we're the cool, hip one. As always, we're available on SoundCloud and iTunes, so if you enjoy listening to this on your phone or tablet device, be sure to check us out on those platforms. If you are listening to us on iTunes, then please leave us a review. It'd help out a lot. This time we'll be having an extra long episode for you as kind of a Christmas gift, and today we'll be discussing two topics: Season 8 leaks, and Preston will be telling me his plan on how to fix Season 7. Now, Preston, I haven't seen your Season 7 fix, yet something tells me Podrick will be evil and Arya dies, so...
Yes. Well, no. I did not kill off Arya, but I did make Podrick evil.
You didn't kill off Arya? What are you talking about? Like, during our Season 7 review, you fucking hate... You wanted Arya to... You wanted Peter Baelish, which, by the way, I think they would have, like, been amazing for doing this, but you wanted Baelish to turn around and be, like, a super amazing sword fighter and, like, slash her throat or something.
I mean, that would have been incredible.
That would have been epic.
I mean, that would have been some Last Jedi level expectations getting smashed kind of stuff. If Peter Baelish just freaking killed Arya, yeah, no. But in my hypothetical season, I just kind of delayed Arya. I kind of had her have her own adventure at Casterly Rock, and then I kind of had her just kind of get delayed, and then arrive at Winterfell at like the end of the season.
Casterly Rock, eh?
Yeah, that was the little side adventure I had. What I had was like, okay, well, what if you made Ilan Payne the Castellan, and then Arya would go to Casterly Rock to
take him out,
to take him out, to get another thing off her list. And then
did you make it like a Mission Impossible type of thing where she has to like sneak in there and she has to climb up and do like a bunch of crazy shit just to infiltrate the whole damn thing?
Well, that would be nice. I mean, I didn't go into too much detail on it, but essentially she would arrive and then want to deal with...
Well, don't tell me yet. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and by the way, you told me a while ago you were going away for Christmas break. May I ask what random country you'll be going to this time?
Going to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka it is.
Where? I think I know where that is.
Sri Lanka island, south of India.
Right. I know. Get off my back. I know. And no, that's nice. I hope you have a good time. Like, the audience doesn't know this, but I have you on social media, so whenever you go off to, like, random places, you and your wife take pictures together in front of monuments and statues, and, I don't know, you guys look so cute together, so I do hope you have a good time. And God forbid, something happens to you while you're on this trip, I just want to remind the audience that I will be inheriting your channel. Your channel will be mine if something happens.
Yes.
Okay, so guys, I completely understand if you're one of those people who want to go into Season 8 completely in the dark. I get it, 100%. So if you don't want to listen to the first half to get to the Season 7 fix, then please skip to Part 2 to get right into the next segment. Now, Preston, these leaks are serious. I heard that the guy who leaked this info was arrested and is being sued by HBO because of how damning they really are. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
Now, I've read these, and, I'm just going to tell you right now, they're insane. I really want to get your reaction, and we'll discuss the stuff in it. But I got to say, though, before we begin, these seem pretty insane, and, I don't know, I kind of believe them. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, let's get into it. Episode 1. Tormund and Beric did survive the attack on the wall. Tormund rides to Winterfell to warn Jon, while Beric stays behind to give him more time. Which, I don't know, I don't feel like that makes any sense because it's like 100,000 dead. What can he do? Like, whatever. Cersei discusses with Qyburn's ideas on how to defeat Daenerys and her dragons. She orders to mass-produce ballistas and let the alchemists make new pots of wildfire. They get interrupted by a message that Euron arrived at King's Landing with the Golden Company. Qyburn does examine the dead whites. Jon and Dany arrive at Winterfell. Many Northern lords are angry about him bending the knee to a Targaryen, but Sansa secures Jon her full support. Theon arrives at King's Landing to free Yara, who is imprisoned inside the Silence. He tries to free her, but gets captured by Euron's men. Sam reads a book about how to create Valyrian steel. The process needs dragonglass and dragonfire. Jon asks Gendry if he can make the new Valyrian steel swords, and he asks Dany if one of her dragons can provide the dragonfire. She agrees, knowing the importance of the situation. End episode 1.
Okay, now looking at this list. Okay, Tormund and Beric. I mean, I could see Tormund. I do think that Tormund and Beric, or at least Tormund, is going to survive. Like they didn't show them die, and it does seem like some sort of useless hold them off kind of thing would be like just the kind of sad thing they would give to Beric, kind of like in the same way that they gave it to Nuncle Benjen. That they would give Beric some sort of useless.
Well, to be fair, Uncle Benjen held off like 10 guys. Beric is gonna hold off 100,000 whites, really.
But equally pointless. But that's the weird thing is the crowd is already ahead. I mean, unless the whites have like climbed up the wall or something and are trying to get the last of the Night's Watch as well. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really seem necessary. It doesn't like, okay, maybe Beric died, got crushed, and that would be the end, and then Tormund would ride there, and there doesn't need to be a sacrifice. But I mean, I think we all do get the sense that Tormund is more important than Beric, and that Beric is going to get killed off and will be fodder, and that Tormund will live just a little bit longer. You know, and I don't know.
I feel like Beric is more important than Tormund, in my opinion. Like, Tormund's more important for the fans. Beric is more important in general because he can, flaming sword guy. I mean...
But we are... that's what I mean. This is all just fan service now. So, yeah, I mean, the grand scheme of things, wasn't Thoros the most important because he could resurrect people.
Yeah.
I mean, and they went and they freaking let him die. But... or as I joked, in any Dungeons and Dragons party, you protect your cleric, and so
the white mage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't. They're the most important characters because the cleric can resurrect people. But
so the Golden Company arrives in King's Landing. The Golden Company has been despite them being we didn't think that the Golden Company would be in this show. They're very prominent in the later on portions of the books. But the Golden Company was mentioned first, I think, in Season 4, when Davos mentions hiring them, and Stannis brushes it off, because they're sellswords. Gross.
Doesn't he have sellswords later? Doesn't he have the Stormcrows or something, and then they abandoned him?
Look, not the best writing in the history of the show, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Golden Company's definitely showing up, and they have to show up early. In the season 7 extras, they added a background thing on the Golden Company. Yeah, so I mean, if they're gonna have them show up, and John Connington and everything, it better happen early. So yes, I see the Golden Company arriving in that first episode with Euron.
To be fair, the Golden Company might not even play a big plot, a big role in the show, because they also had on the Blu-ray a while ago, I think the last Blu-ray, season 6, the War of Nine Penny Kings, and they barely even mention it in the show. I
mean, yeah, the War of the Nine Penny Kings. We know nothing about the War of the Nine Penny Kings. It's
we only know that Barristan made his legend during the battle. I think Tywin was in it. Something like that. I don't remember a lot. Like
Hoster Tully and people. Yeah.
Peter Baelish's dad was in it too, and that's how they became buddies. You don't really know a lot about it, but they did a whole segment on it for the Blu-ray. So the Golden Company, do you really think they'll show up? I mean...
Yeah, they're definitely showing up. I mean, Cersei doesn't have any people, so they've got to give her something.
True. Jon and Dany arriving in Winterfell, the Northern Lords being angry, and then Sansa giving her full support. I can see that going down. I think a lot of people expected that to happen.
A useless Northern bickering, which which was all of last season. So it's, of course, you could see more of it. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Theon arriving at King's Landing and free Yara, who was imprisoned, only to be captured himself. I don't know, will that really disappoint you? Because Theon did have this whole thing where he's like, yeah, let's go! And then...
To just be captured again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that they'd be keeping her in the silence. Like, why? I thought he'd be taking the silence to ferry people over from Essos, right?
I'm assuming after he left the meeting at the season 7 finale, he goes to Essos, grabs the Golden Company, sails back, and the whole time he just has her in there.
Huh. Seems kind of pointless.
Like, are you trying to argue that he should have kept Yara in, like, the dungeons of King's Landing?
Or, like, back on the Iron Isles. But, you know, why would Theon... See, this is the thing, is why would Theon know that Yara is in King's Landing? In the silence.
Maybe he's tracking Euron's ship. I will argue to this point, because Euron needs Yara. Yara has the same blood, and you know... She could succeed him, and he doesn't want to really leave her alone. Like, if he leaves her in the dungeons of King's Landing, he probably fears that Cersei might use Yara against him in some way. If he leaves her in the Iron Islands, he might think some douchebag lord who doesn't like him would try to use Yara for his own personal gain. So I can understand and see that it's kind of smart for Euron to keep her close.
I mean, he should just kill her, but I could see them justifying it by saying, well, you know, she's... He wants to torture Theon, and he likes torturing people, and so she's kept alive. I mean, to be fair, like, if we're going book parallel, like, everyone's very confused on why Euron has kept Aeron alive. You know, I have my theories on that, but it's you know, it's a big mystery. Like, why haven't you just killed him? Or, like, why keep this guy alive? But it's the same, I suppose. I guess, I mean, is Yara taking up the Aeron plot? The damp hair plot?
That would be interesting. I could see that.
Yeah. Well, there's just not enough time, really, to explore it. 6 episodes, but it would be, you know, yeah, maybe. I mean, I suppose if Book Euron kept the damp hair in his ship, why not have Yara in Euron's ship in the show? All right, I'm on board.
And the whole thing about them being able to make Valyrian steel, I don't know. I don't think I like that, because it kind of lessens and cheapens the whole Valyrian steel plot line, or even like the whole item in general. Like, the reason it's so cool is because they're so rare and they're so sought after. But if you're gonna make like so much shit out of it, it just seems kind of dumb. And Dragon Glass and Dragon Fire can make that steel. Is that even a thing? I'm not a swordsmith, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're going with, I mean, it's almost too clever, like, remembering that, no, honestly, the fact that, like, Gendry being Tabho Mott's apprentice, like, that almost gives him, like, it's almost too perfect, the sense that, like...
But remember, in the books, Tobho Mott creates Oathkeeper and... Widow's Wail from ice in the books. In the show, Tywin tells Jaime that some random guy from Volantis, I think it was, made the...
yeah, fair enough. You're right. Okay. Now, see, I was about to be like, oh, that's a really cool way to bring Gendry back, but now you're right that it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, I guess... I mean, it's dumb enough that I could see it working, but they don't need to do it. They already have all the dragon glass they can make into daggers and spears and stuff.
Arrow
it's kind of a useless thing. Like, what was the point of Sam? You know, here's the thing: is what was the point of Sam stealing Heartsbane? What was the point of giving Arya Bran's dagger? Like, the whole point of bringing those weapons back was so that they could be used by these characters. Mm-hmm. If Valyrian steel weapons are now just infinite, there was no point in any of that.
I'm assuming the only reason he brought Heartsbane is because at one point I'm expecting Longclaw to break or to be, like, I don't know, submerged in, like, deep water or some stupid stuff like that. And then Sam can come out of nowhere and go, "Jon, here!" and throw it to him, and he's like, "Ugh!" It does a spin. and chops off the Night King's head.
Yeah, that would be lame enough to happen. Yeah, that's true.
Well, fuck you too. Episode 2. Bran tells Jon that he's a Targaryen named Aegon, son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark, the heir to the Iron Throne. Jon says he wants no throne, and Ned will always be his father. He doesn't tell Daenerys about what Bran told him. Good, don't. That I can see happening.
I could see that happening. I mean, I think it's, the idea that all of this is build up is to something that Jon is just going to set aside is that's something that I could see happening, and I could see that be a George R. R. Martin kind of thing. That this is the thing he's giving up.
Tyrion receives a letter from King's Landing that Cersei sends the soldiers of the Golden Company, led by Sir Gregor Clegane, to Winterfell to join the fight against the army of the undead. Jaime arrives at Winterfell. Bran has a vision about the Isle of Faces and the God's Eye. He tells Jon that he needs to travel there. Bran leaves for the God's Eye, protected and carried by Northern soldiers. Cersei miscarries. End scene, the Golden Company march north. They have dozens of ballistas with them. Nice ending there. So, Tyrion receiving a letter from King's Landing. Why would they even send him a message? Maybe he's like Dany's like letter opener. I don't see why. But why would Cersei send Gregor Clegane to lead these guys? I figured like he'd be her main bodyguard.
Right. And why hasn't Jaime already arrived to tell them that Cersei's not coming?
Bran has a vision about the Isle of Faces and the God's Eye. What's going on with the Isle of Faces? Explain to people why that's important in the books. But in the show, it seems a little weird that they're throwing it now. But why is the Isle of Faces important in the books?
Well, we don't even know how, why they're important in the books. There's supposedly these green men on the Isle of Faces. There's a bunch of werewolves there. Howland Reed spent a long time there right before the Harrenhal tourney. There's been a couple random characters throughout history that have visited, but we have no idea what's actually there. I think it might have been the original Pact Island, where the Children of the Forest and the First Men like made their pact to be to team up, and but it seems a little late in the game on for this. I don't know.
Introduce it.
Yeah, I mean, and I really do see. I mean, I see the books ending at the God's Eye, so maybe they're throwing it in because George R. R. Martin told them the ending. Because I mean, if in the books we know that like Daenerys has a vision of fighting others in the Riverlands, so this idea is that that's where the end of the story is going to be. So if the White Walkers conquer the North, and head down, then I suppose the Riverlands might be, where the final battle is. And so I guess the God's Eye would be close by. But we don't know what's at the God's Eye. Maybe some Children of the Forest. I don't know. The Green Men. Yeah, maybe.
Cersei's miscarriage. We read this for the season 7 leaks, but it never happened. So I'm assuming they're gonna put Cersei miscarrying in season 8. That we kind of expected, right?
I guess based on those leaks, because all of the leaks were correct except for that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's kind of sad. I think it's more interesting if the baby survives, but I guess because it was in the leaks, we all expect it to happen.
Right. And the ending scene with the Golden Company marching north and they have like dozens of ballistas with them. I don't know. I feel like that's a really good ending. That's an ominous ending.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I guess they're... okay, yeah, I suppose we could see all the ballistas.
Episode 3, Cold Open. The first Valyrian steel sword gets forged. Dany wants to execute Jaime because he killed her father. Tyrion intervenes and tells her that then she has to kill him too. Jaime reveals why he killed the Mad King. Cersei marries Euron in King's Landing. Dany realizes that she is pregnant but keeps it a secret so that she can continue fighting. The Mountain arrives at Winterfell. Arya kills the leader of the Golden Company and then takes his face. With his face, Arya tries to assassinate the Mountain. She fails and gets badly injured, but before he could finish her, the Hound intervenes and fights his brother. He nearly wins the fight, but then the steel does not kill the mountain. In the last moment, the Hound takes Arya's Valyrian steel dagger and kills his brother with it, while Arya passes out. A soldier of the Golden Company sneaks into Daenerys' tent. It is revealed that he is Daario Naharis, who joined the Golden Company to have a chance to come to her come to her in Westeros. He warns Dany that Cersei commanded them to kill her, her dragons, and all her men. Bran arrives in the Isle of Faces and tries to learn more about the creation of the White Walkers and a possible way to defeat them. He realizes that he may be able to change time, remembering how his father hurt him at the Tower of Joycene. He comes to the conclusion that the only way to win this war is to go back in time and prevent the creation of the Night's King. So, like I said, I really think them making and forging Valyrian steel is kind of dumb, but...
Yeah, it's true. So the Hound getting killed by the mountain.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
Whoa,
is that what it... Well, let's go in order, but that's not what happened. Dany wants to execute Jaime because he killed her father. That I kind of really want to see. I really want to see a whole dialogue between Dany and Jaime. I've always thought that at the end of the day, if Jaime does survive the whole series, either he'll serve Dany as her own Kingsguard, or she'll exile him for his crimes, or maybe he'll be redeemed in the end. But I don't think Jaime will die. I hope he does not.
No, I mean, well, everybody's gonna die, right?
You're in a good mood today. What do you want for Jaime towards the for at least the television show version of Jaime? What do you want for him at the end?
I mean, jeez, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't see anything except for him dying in some way, like dying to keep an oath of some sort.
That makes sense.
Dying for Brienne, dying to protect Sansa. Mm-hmm. I guess, so, doing something to protect Sansa would be what I'd want.
Really? Why Sansa of all people?
Well, I mean, that's what his oath is about. Like, his entire story is about, like,
protecting the Stark girls.
Yeah, protect, and for some reason it's become more about Sansa than it is Arya. But yeah, his whole oath was to protect Sansa, and so really I see him like becoming like serving her, much in the way Brienne was. But we'll see. I don't know.
Cersei marrying Euron in King's Landing. I can see that playing to Euron's whole thing. He becomes the king, he kills the queen, and then he offers Dany the throne.
Yeah, I could see that plan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not? She's got nothing else. She needs Euron. She's got nothing else holding her back at this point. Why not marry Euron?
And Dany realizing she's pregnant but keeping it a secret so she can continue fighting. To be fair, does Dany really need to ride Drogon? Can't she? Like, you theorize that they have she and Drogon and the other dragon has a telepathic communication going on. Does she really need to be on top of Drogon for Drogon to be effective?
Well, in the show, no. Right? Like, in the show, the other dragons did her will without her being on top of them, right? So there's no real point in her riding them when she can control them anyway, right?
Exactly. So this is kind of stupid. Her keeping it a secret, blah blah blah. Kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't know why she rides her dragons to begin with. For fun?
Maybe to show people who's boss. I mean, psychological warfare in a sense.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd be more afraid of the person who can control the dragon than the dragon itself. Because if I see the dragon itself, it's just a wild animal. Fuck it, kill it. But if I see someone actually controlling it, I'm gonna be a little more afraid. It's a calculated attack. I'd be more afraid if a bear attacks me because someone's commanding it to. Nature being controlled by people. I don't know. That seems more terrifying than just nature doing its own thing.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's like, I guess maybe she needs to yell Dracarys, but like her dragons burn stuff with her not yelling it before. So I don't know. I don't know why she rides her dragons.
It's like an anime when you gotta yell out your attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Some asshole on Reddit's like, is Carmine gonna make an anime? Yeah, I did. Fuck you, bitch. But anyways, Uh, the Mountain arrives at Winterfell. Arya kills the leader of the Golden Company, then takes his face. With his face, she tries to assassinate the Mountain. She fails and gets badly injured. Before he could finish her off, the Hound intervenes and fights his brother. The Hound nearly wins the... Wait, does the Hound? Okay. The Hound nearly wins the fight, but the steel the Hound is using, the sword... the sword that the Hound is using does not kill the Mountain. In the last moment, the Hound takes Arya's Valyrian steel dagger and kills his brother with it. Arya passes out. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, we thought that Arya would be using that dagger to kill a White Walker.
Right. I mean, that's the whole thing. She's going to get in her little badass fight. Like, why have the Hound take her dagger and do it when we already know that the fan service is going to have Arya whipping it around and attacking White Walkers with it. Mm-hmm. Why? Yeah, we don't need the Hound to get it. Would the dragon glass work on the Mountain anyway? Why would it work on the Mountain?
Mystery. Do you like that mystery or?
No.
No.
I mean, if he's produced and created in a completely different way, there's no reason Dragonglass should work on him.
Okay. A soldier of the Golden Company sneaks into Daenerys' tent. It is revealed that he is Dario Naharis, who joined the Golden Company, have the chance to come to her in Westeros. He warns Dany that Cersei commanded her to kill, blah, 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 blah. So this is just a repeat of what happened when Dario first met Dany in Season 3.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't mind that. It seems a little repetitive, but at the same time, it's not bad.
You don't think they gave Dario a nice send off?
Where she breaks up with him and he becomes the king of Meereen?
Yeah.
I guess it was an okay send off. Like, thinking back on it now, it was super random. I don't think they really thought much of it, but
it was like the only character that had a kind of fitting send off, because like that season he's boasting about, or he's talking about how Daenerys is going to change the world, and he's looking forward to that, and then he's put in charge. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting that you know he has to take the role that he was assuming Daenerys is going to. So it's odd though that he just abandoned Meereen. Like, at least with Meereen they're like, well, I guess peace and prosperity with Dario, and then he just abandons it anyway. I mean,
so you think that's kind of dumb for him to come back out of nowhere and, hey, what's up? I'm here. Oh, I left.
Of all of the characters that need to be brought back, and of all the plots that need to be tied up, Dario's not one of them. Mm-hmm. You know, like the Melisandre, the Red Priests, like all of the Illyrio, those all need to be tied up more than Dario. Dario, they wrapped him up. You know, it's as good as it's gonna get with Dario.
It's okay, Preston. It says here that Dario left Jiqui in charge of Meereen, so it's okay.
Oh yes, of course. I'm mad of my own heart. Oh, you know me too well. You know me too well.
Bran arrives on the Isle of Faces and tries to learn more about the creation of the White Walkers and the possible way to defeat them. He realizes that he may be able to change the time. Sorry, this is so stupid. Remembering how his father heard about the Tower of Joy, Satan comes to the conclusion that the only way to win this war is to go back in time and prevent the creation of the Night King. Your thoughts?
I mean, look, we all hate time traveling Bran. We all hate time traveling Bran. We hate time traveling Bran in the show. We hate time traveling Bran in the book. But we have to accept that time traveling Bran is a thing. Like, that's a thing. Time travel is part of our story. It's horrible that it's part of our story, but it's part of our story.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, I can completely understand that he is somehow able to not travel back. Okay. Put his conscience. Now I'm gonna start sounding like you. Put his consciousness in the Weirwood tree. The Weirwood trees has some kind of magic connection, forward in time and back in time, and he is able to somehow. Like, I could understand sound being able, or maybe even a a physical appearance being able to go back in time. But can he really, like, touch things?
He can send his consciousness.
Yeah, but can he really use that to, like, physically touch something?
I mean, I think he can like Hodor back to something and affect things. And then once his consciousness is brought, like, skin changed into somebody else, he can do whatever he wants. I mean, he's not going to physically, like, crippled Bran is not physically going to go back in time. He's going to send his consciousness back in time to take over somebody else.
Who could he possibly take over?
The guy who becomes the Night King. I don't know. A random child of the forest.
We're going to go deeper down the hole here. Do you think if he tries to take over the mind of the guy who becomes the Night King, somehow that guy's able to fight him off and Bran's trapped in his body, and then we all come to the realization that Bran is somehow the Night King now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Okay, so I don't know. I just don't like time traveling Bran. I hope they don't do it, but we'll see.
No,
what
and
happens.
it's happening. Okay, time traveling Bran, it's inescapable. Like, you cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube on this. Look, and like I say, we all hate time traveling Bran, but time traveling Bran is a reality. It's just it's horrible.
It's happening. It's a reality.
It's happening. Yes. Bran, yeah, so Bran thinking he can go back in time to stop the White Walkers. Yes, that's a pretty believable thing.
Okay, so episode 4. Bran arrives at the Neck and meets with Mira and her father, Howland Reed. They continue traveling with them. That made no sense. Dany orders the Dothraki to kill all the Golden Company soldiers. She can't attack them with her dragons because of the ballistas. A big battle happens with an easy win for the Dothraki. Some of Cersei's soldiers capture Jaime and ride with him back to White Harbor, where Euron's fleet awaits. Arya is badly injured. The Maesters of Winterfell tell Jon that he can't do anything to prevent her death. Melisandre arrives at Winterfell. Davos wants her to get executed, but she promises Jon that she can save Arya. He agrees. Arya survives but is not able to fight. Jorah, Dario, and Bronn, who arrived with the Golden Company, volunteer to ride to King's Landing, helping Jaime escape. Varys gives them plans about how they can enter the city through the tunnels under the city. Euron arrives with Jaime in King's Landing and brings him to Cersei. Cersei tells Jaime that his capture is a trap, so that Daenerys flies to the capital on her dragons. Jaime is disgusted by her and strangles her to death. Euron enters the room laughing and clapping. Then he throws Jaime into the black cells. Jesus Christ. Jorah, Dario...
No.
Hold on. We're not finished yet. Jorah, Dario, and Bronn arrive. The escape mission fails. Dario dies fighting while Bronn and Jorah get captured. Euron sits on the Iron Throne as king with Qyburn as his hand. He writes a letter to Dany that Cersei is dead and he wants to marry her. She would become Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, else he will send her the heads of his prisoners back, but Dany refuses to marry Euron. Okay, so at the very start... the Dothraki fighting the Golden Company. Don't the Golden Company have elephants?
Yeah, they do.
So are we gonna get like a battle towards the end, like the third Lord of the Rings film, where all the because the Dothraki in a sense are basically there's no way to say this, but like darker version of the Rohirrim.
I mean, yeah, I suppose, but.
And the Golden Company is kind of like those, I forgot their fucking names, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The last battle, not the last battle. But...
Right, with the Oliphants and all that, yeah. I mean, I suppose it might visually look good to have Dothraki versus elephants, but...
I want to see elephants in Game of Thrones. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Cersei capturing Jaime as a ploy. We'll see White Harbor, I guess, but maybe for a brief second, because what's the point? But
what's the point of what's the point of her capturing him?
I guess to lure him there, but why would Dany care about Jaime?
She wouldn't.
Exactly. So it's starting to fall apart a little here. Where is it? Arya is badly injured, and apparently she's going to die because of the mountain. Which, okay, if Arya's gonna fight the mountain, and the guy is like, you almost can't kill him, I would expect her to be like fucked up a little bit. Arya never completed her assassin's training, and she's not really used to fighting people who can't really die. So I am expecting the Mountain, if she goes to attack him, to fuck her up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, but how badly injured could she be, and what does why
to the point
would
where
they
she's
need...
gonna die, but Melisandre apparently comes in and she's going to be able to save Arya. It doesn't say if Arya dies and is brought back. It just says Arya survives but is not able to fight.
I don't see how Melisandre is helping unless she's dead. I mean, can red priests like heal and not resurrect? I mean, we know that red priests can resurrect, but can they heal?
Oh.
And if Melisandre went back to Essos, shouldn't she be coming with like an army of religious zealots? Like, why would she just show up to heal Arya?
Maybe she's trying to see the combined efforts of the prince or princess that was promised. I don't know, dude. Fuck this thing. Anyways, Jorah, Dario, and Bronn, who arrive King's Landing helping Jaime. Varys gives them plans. Okay, that I could possibly see, but I don't understand why the fuck Dario would go. I can see Bronn going and maybe Jorah, but I don't understand
why. Wait, why is Bronn? Isn't Bronn still with Cersei? Did Bronn go with Jaime?
I don't remember that. I don't think so. No, I don't think Bronn went with Jaime. It did say that Bronn... It says here Bronn arrived with the Golden Company. So... Maybe Cersei promises him something? I don't know. Like, we're definitely not going to get a scene between Bronn and Cersei together, but maybe he'll have a line where, like,
right.
Your sister promised me a kingdom. Blah, blah,
blah. I mean, I guess because I guess he has to be... I mean, it's weird that they made... So here they made the Mountain and Bronn like the generals of the Golden Company, I suppose, because it's the only characters left or something. I mean, unless you want to put Qyburn out there. I mean,
remember what happened last time? Didn't get his ass kicked and got thrown in Harrenhal for no reason?
Well, we have no idea why he ended up at Harrenhal. He just was there in the show.
Maybe he was put there by Duran, and Duran died, so now he has nothing to do.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, I don't understand why Dario is going out of his way to rescue Jaime.
Yeah, no, why? Yeah,
why would Dany even order him to do that? See, now this is where it starts to fall apart a little.
Yeah, and why that crew? Like, why would Jorah? Why would Dario? Why would Bronn? Like, what has Jaime ever done for them? I don't know.
Well, Bronn I can see happening, but I don't see...
Bronn I could see it doing it, but, yeah, I mean, why?
Euron arrives with Jaime in King's Landing and brings him to Cersei. Cersei tells Jaime that his capture is a trap, so that Daenerys flies over to the capital with her dragons. Jaime is disgusted by her and strangles her to death. Euron enters the room laughing and clapping, then he throws Jaime into the black cells. I don't want to say Euron is a mastermind genius thinking that bringing Jaime back would have served his purpose to get Cersei out of the way. Like, I don't want to think that, but they're making Euron a little too awesome in a sense. I don't know if that's the plan here.
Yeah, I just don't see them killing Cersei off until the last episode.
Me neither. Or second to last episode.
Right. I mean, no. Yeah. And this whole, like, Jaime strangling her thing, like, they didn't introduce that into the show. Like, the whole Valonqar thing. Mm-hmm. So, no. And plus, I don't think Jaime would ever kill Cersei anyway. I don't know.
Jorah, Dario, and Bronn arrive. The escape mission fails. Escape mission? You mean? I think this person means rescue mission.
Rescue mission, yeah.
Dario dies fighting while Bronn and Jorah get captured. Poor Dario. You were right. Yeah, the great send-off. Not the best, but it was a send-off nonetheless. His chapter is closed, and he comes back to help Dany, and she sends him off first chance she gets to save a guy who killed her father, and...
for no reason. Yeah, okay. All right, Jorah gets captured. Why not? Give him grayscale again. Have him cured. Whatever.
Euron sits on the Iron Throne as king with Qyburn as his hand. He trusts Qyburn. Okay. He writes a letter to Dany that Cersei is dead and he wants to marry her. She would become the queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Else he will send her the heads of his prisoners back. Dany refuses to marry Euron. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
What a douche. Please consider it.
I guess, but like through succession granted succession doesn't mean anything anymore, but would Euron really be king if he kills off Cersei? I guess it would go. Wouldn't it go to Jaime? I don't know.
Would it go to Jaime? Because at this point, it's almost like whoever kills and maintains the capital is in charge, I guess.
I guess. I mean, the people are pretty fickle. They just cheer whoever. You know?
Like the Northern Lords?
Yeah. Oh my god, everybody's so fickle in this whole Game of Thrones. Oh.
Okay, episode 5. Bran goes back in time to warg into a man, but then gets captured by the Children of the Forest. He wants to warn them, but they gag him and transform him with dragonglass into the Night King. Oh, shit!
Oh.
I forgot that was a thing. I read it like ages ago, but the Night King's reviving skills are actually Bran's warging, but on a bigger scale, which he perfectionated. Perfectionated? Is that a word? I don't think so.
Yeah.
In these thousands of years, Bran can manage to come back. His eyes stay white. He is lost in the past. Helen and Mira bring him back to Harrenhal, but he does not react to anything they say or do. Euron makes a public execution. Bronn yields. Euron cuts his tongue and allows him to join him. Yara gets burned alive with wildfire in public while Theon strangles himself to death trying to save her. Jorah gets beheaded and his head is sent back to Daenerys. Jaime has to watch all of this. Fucking Christ.
All right. Okay.
Dany is infuriated when she heard that Euron, as to what Euron did. Against the advice of Jon and Tyrion, she flies with Drogon to King's Landing to kill Euron. She burns Euron's fleet and then the Red Keep to the ground, causing the wildfire beneath the Red Keep to explode, and the whole city gets destroyed with all the inhabitants dying. Dany is shocked, lands, and goes to the throne room. Snow falls down on her as she touches what is left of the throne. Then she flies back to Winterfell, knowing hundreds of thousands have died because of her. Last scene, Euron on a ship with Jaime, Qyburn, and Bronn. They left the city earlier as Euron knew Dany was coming. Okay. What the... Okay, so this is episode 5. It is the quote-unquote dreaded episode. And I guess there's just a lot of characters we don't need anymore. We don't want to pay these people anymore, so let's just get them the fuck out of here. But,
By the way, where's Brienne? I'm just wondering.
She
Where's Sansa? Where's a lot of these people?
Brienne got locked in the trash compactor. She can't come.
You're right. She'll be back. Yeah.
She'll be back in the spin-offs. No, okay, so Bran goes back in time.
And Tormund and hasn't the Night's King like made it to Winterfell yet?
No, he's still marching. He's still marching.
Been fucking 5 episodes. All right.
Okay, so
they've been back and forth to King's Landing like 3 times.
Apparently, Bran is... I was gonna call him Dan. Bran is the Night King. He works into the wrong guy apparently because they gag him, which would make sense. They gag him.
Yeah.
And he's the Night King,
enough.
and he perfected... By the way, the word this guy was looking for is perfected.
Yes.
Or perfection, but perfected. Bran's hold on, what the Night King's reviving skills. Okay, so reviving the whites are actually Bran's warging, but on a bigger scale, which he perfected. Okay, so a lot of the whites is basically Bran taking a part of his mind.
Yeah. No, it's just it makes sense. It's skin changing in the same way that he can control, or like Varamir Six Skins can control like 6 different things at once. Like Bran is controlling like thousands of things at once. That
I can see happening. Would that be better than the whole... Well, no, you're still going to get the Star Wars, take out the droid command ship, all the droids die.
Right, it doesn't explain, though, where the rest of the White Walkers come from.
Euron makes public...
I mean, if there was just the Night King, it would make sense, but we've got these others. So, I don't know.
Euron makes a public execution. Bronn yields, but Euron cuts his tongue and allows him to join. Yara gets burned alive with wildfire in a public execution while Theon strangles himself to death trying to save her. So clearly we're mirroring what happened with Ned Stark's brother and his father.
Yeah.
Jorah gets beheaded. and his head is sent back to Daenerys. Jaime has to watch all of this. All right, so we go from like a 3 to a 12 in like
right.
matter
I
of
don't know
minutes.
why it's like significant that Jaime has to watch all of this. Jaime wouldn't give a shit about any of these people. I mean, maybe Bronn losing his tongue, but it's like, oh no, Theon strangling himself. Jaime wouldn't care. I mean, he saw. I don't know. I mean, I guess he has to. He's saying Jaime watches it to make it a mirror of all those years ago. But all right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dany is infuriated. This is the insanity. When she hears what Euron did, blah, 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 against the advice of everybody, she flies with Drogon on King's Landing to kill Euron, and she burns his fleet, but then she also burns the Red Keep to the ground, and there's wildfire under the Red Keep, and it explodes the whole city. She somehow doesn't get caught in the aftershock, or whatever. The whole city gets destroyed with the inhabitants dying, and she's horrified. She lands and goes to the throne room, what's left of it, as snow falls down on her, and she touches what is left of the throne. So this is trying to mirror that whole scene.
Right, that vision that she had,
That she flies back to Winterfell, knowing hundreds of thousands have died because of her.
I think it's like 1 million, right?
Right. What an asshole.
Oh, well.
Apparently, Euron is on a ship with Jaime and Qyburn and Bronn. He's bringing Jaime along for some reason, and Qyburn.
He loves it, yeah, why not? Well, I mean, Qyburn's useful. Why he's bringing Bronn and Jaime around, I have no idea. Like, why would Bronn make it this far? Oh, well.
Episode 6, the last episode of the entire show. This is where shit happens. Episode 6, we made it this far. Dany arrives at Winterfell. Tyrion asks her what happened to his brother and Euron. Dany answers that they're all dead. Jon gathered all the soldiers together and prepared them for the fight against the army of the undead. A snowstorm arrives at Winterfell, and together with the army of the dead, Dany mounts Drogon to fight the Night King on Viserion. Drogon's fire does not harm neither Viserion nor the Night King. Dany and Drogon get hit by Viserion's blue flame. Am I saying his name right? Viserion?
Viserion?
Viserion, I'm sorry. Viserion's blue flame. They fall down, but Drogon saves her, protecting her with his own body. The Night King lands to kill her, but Jon intervenes. He hits him with Longclaw, but is unable to hurt the Night King. Rhaegal lands to save them. Jon mounts Rhaegal, together with Daenerys, who passed out. Drogon dies and gets burned by Rhaegal, so the Night King can't raise him. They retreat south to Harrenhal, having an astonishing defeat. Winterfell gets destroyed. As they arrive at Harrenhal with Rhaegal, Dany's baby comes. She is already injured by Viserion. What is this motherfucker?
Viserion?
Okay, thank you. Viserion's flames and weaken, blah, blah, blah. The maesters at Harrenhal help her, and she manages to give birth to a healthy daughter. But Dany dies of childbirth. Her last words are that Jon should name her Lyanna. The army of the dead march south against Harrenhal. Jon wants to stay with his daughter, but he knows he has to kill the Night King. He mounts Rhaegal and faces the Night King in the air. He looks into the eyes and sees Bran's eyes. He realizes that the only way to save his daughter and all the other living people is to kill Bran's body, sacrificing his beloved brother to save humanity. As he stabs Bran, Longclaw catches fire. Jon fights the Night King again, this time on Earth. Rhaegar, you mean on the ground?
Yeah, on the ground, yeah.
I don't know why I find that funny. Rhaegar gets killed by, what's that fucking asshole's name?
Viserion.
This is the problem. Viserion. Rhaegar gets killed by Viserion. Jon manages to kill the Night King and defeating the army of the undead, but dies himself. Ending scene. 5 years later, Tyrion does take care of Lyanna and teaches her, together with his wife Sansa. Oh! The survivors... Give me a minute. Go ahead, I'm good. The survivors create a new democratic system where everyone is allowed to vote, ending monarchy. Tyrion got elected as the first... Give me a minute. Tyrion gets elected as the first president of Westeros. Arya took a ship and sailed west of Westeros to exploit... I'm sorry. Oh my god. Preston, can you finish that last line?
Arya took a ship and sailed west of Westeros to explore new lands and and never comes back. Euron, Jaime, Bronn, and Qyburn were never seen again.
Okay.
Wait, why do Euron, Jaime, Bronn, and Qyburn get to survive?
Where's Brienne? What happened to Podrick?
Where's Brienne and Podrick? Did they... I mean, I killed off Brienne and Podrick in my season 7 story, but yeah, no, they should be here in this story. First off, like, if Dany is around 9 months in order to have a baby, why didn't the Night King make it to Winterfell? Took him 9 months?
It took him 9 months, apparently.
No!
Okay, them losing Winterfell, like a defeat at Winterfell, I kind of understand that. And them
defeat at Winterfell's happening in like episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, you know, they're not having the fight at Winterfell be the last freaking episode and then retreating to Harrenhal to have another battle. Like, the show is going to have a battle at Winterfell where they lose, and then a battle at Harrenhal where they win, or something like that, right?
So we have to kill Bran's body? That's how you... Bran's the control ship?
Yeah, that's really weird.
Oh, wait. Okay. I will say this. Despite all this being incredibly fucking retarded, I will say that the reason the Night King wants Bran, I guess, so badly, or maybe to kill Bran, is because that is Bran, and he knows the only way to kill Bran is to make sure that he can't be stopped. Okay, that is concrete. I get that.
Or does he wants to just capture Bran and protect his body?
Or maybe absorb Bran into him or something. Maybe absorb Bran's consciousness into him. You know, complete it or something. I don't fucking know. The army of the dead marched south against Harrenhal. The problem I have with this is that Tyrion. Why was Tyrion elected president? Like, what the fuck? Like, doesn't everybody?
What did he do? What did he do this season that was any good?
Right?
Like he did nothing the whole season.
He read a letter and then told Dany, "If you kill Jaime, you have to kill me too." That's all he did, according to this. And he marries Sansa. Jesus Christ! What the fuck?
Man.
Okay,
man.
So that was season 8. What did you think?
It's pretty silly.
What a piece of shit.
Right, but then again, won't the actual season 8 like also be pretty silly and probably crazy?
Preston, you're giving away the punchline. Stop it. Yeah, someone sent this to me, claiming that they have contacts inside HBO. Me and Preston have deduced that this is complete, utter bullshit, but take what you want from it. If by the end of season 8, Tyrion becomes president of Westeros, I guess I'm burning all my Blu-rays. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny though that we're getting to we're at the beginning, end of episode 5, and like, where's Brienne? Wait, what did Arya do? But then again, I mean, they do have way too many characters. They should have killed off more characters last season. So they're already I don't know what they're gonna do with all these people.
I mean, a lot of these characters, you can do a lot of really fun things with them. For example, Jorah serves Dany as her Lord Commander, I guess. Bronn, I can see Bronn in the very last episode surviving, and he finally gets his own castle. Like Bronn, he's sitting at the patio on his castle, drinking like a margarita or something. This is the life. Closing away with Bronn, make it fun, because he was never really that big and important in the books. So make it fun or whatever. Sam marries Gilly, or maybe he's the maester to Winterfell or some stupid bullshit like that, so he can be close to Jon, his boyfriend. I don't know. Arya's sailing west of Westeros. Oh, by the way, what happens to Melisandre and Varys?
Who knows? Where's Sam and Gilly?
Oh, thank God they're not there. That's the only way this thing could be redeemed, if they kill off Sam and Gilly for first episode.
First episode.
Oh man. So what did you think? Pure garbage, huh?
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get garbage anyway. So
Stop it.
why not? Why not?
Stop it.
But there's some interesting questions. Like, what can they do with Arya other than just expel her? Because she can't be rehabilitated. That would be ridiculous. They can kill her off, or they can have her go exploring.
I would really want her to go back to the House of Black and White and maybe, or I don't know, what can she do? I honestly don't know what she could possibly do, because Arya is not going to be someone who wants to settle down and have kids. That is definitely not going to be her character ever.
Right.
She is definitely going to go off, do her own thing, maybe travel the world. I don't like. I would want Arya to have a shitty ending to the point where she's addicted to this. She's had a taste of it. She wants more, and she goes back to Jaqen. That's why Jaqen gives that little devious smile when she leaves the House of Black and White, because he knows that she's got a taste of it, and she'll be back when she's finished with her little list. That's the kind of bittersweet ending I want for Arya. She'd be killing people, but at least she'd be doing the thing she loves.
Yeah. I mean, there can be no happy ending for her. Mm-hmm. She's already broken, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. It's got to be something odd and sick, or I mean, really, her character needs to die, but I don't know if they will kill her. I think you're right that maybe she'll go back to the House of Black and White, or this whole going off and traveling seems fitting, but really the character is broken and needs to die.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are you gonna do?